Hello, my name's Eric Hansen. I'm Director of Product Management here at SingleStore, and today I'm going to talk to you about JSON seek speedup on Universal Storage in SingleStore DB 8.0. Our improvement for JSON seeking in the 8.0 release can give up to 400 times speedups for queries that are very selective that just find one or a few rows from a column store table. And the way it works is that instead of reading an entire million row chunk of a JSON column called a column segment, as we did in prior releases, like it shows in the picture on the left, we instead just read a few bytes from that entire million row chunk. So you can read just the bytes needed to retrieve a single row, for example. And obviously that's going to be much faster, and in fact it can be up to 400 times faster. The demo is set up in the following way. So I have a table called orders. It's got two columns, an ID number and an order document, which is of type JSON. And there's a little over 8 million rows in this table. I'm running it on an 8-core laptop. And the rows in the table look like this. There's an ID number, time, and line items. And so, and that's in the JSON document that's nested within this row. And the row also has an ID number, just an integer at the top level, and the ID numbers are unique. So notice that the line items nested inside the document is an array of other documents, and they're the line items with properties line number, SKU, description, and quantity. So it's a pretty typical but simple kind of nested document structure. So our goal is we'd like to be able to look up one row in this table fast. So let's demonstrate that. Here is the lookup query. It just looks up the ID and order document into some variables from the orders table where the ID is a constant value that's in that variable underscore OID. So I have a database here that's running on SingleStore 8.0.3, which is our release candidate for the 8.0 release. And there's two tables here, orders and orders 2. So orders is loaded with the old table organization that doesn't allow seeking into JSON columns. So you have to scan from beginning to end of a million row segment to find a particular row, at least within the JSON column itself. And so that limits the performance of being able to seek. Orders 2 is loaded with a new format that's now available in 8.0, and it does allow what we call subsegment access for JSON data. It allows us to seek into a particular JSON column within one of those million row segments to find the data for a particular row. So accessing data with very selective queries in orders 2 is going to be a lot faster than in orders for that reason. And don't worry, the default format in the 8.0 release is the new format, so you'll get the behavior like we'll see with orders 2. So we have a get average time function that I've written here. It's a stored procedure that runs the lookup query n times in a loop, and it seeks to find rows at random. So we generate a random row ID and then seek to find that row. So get average time is going to look into orders, and this I specified 10, so it'll do it 10 times. Let's see how long it takes. All right, so a little over half a second. So now let's try get average time 2, the same number of iterations. Wow, it's just over a millisecond and 1.5 milliseconds. So this is something like a 400 times speed up. So tremendous speed up from before. Get a lot more throughput and interactive response time when you're seeking into tables that involve JSON data. So now with Universal Storage in the 8.0 release, we're able to seek into JSON data with plenty of performance to support demanding mission critical workloads that want to store JSON. So thank you. Appreciate it.